Hello everyone! So, I'm taking a hiatus from my hiatus to complain about Star Wars for a while. Specifically, the piss-poor excuse for redemption they tried to hoist upon Kylo Ren in a catastrophically bad way. Merry Christmas! Now, heads up, because I'm screwing with Disney here, the visuals in this video are going to be minimal. Sorry. So, let me lay my cards out on the table. I don't like Kylo Ren. I don't like that he got more screen time and more story importance than Finn and Poe. I don't like that Rey's entire arc got wrapped up in Kylo's stupid drama, so I have exactly zero emotional investment in Kylo being redeemed or whatever. And even if they had done it well, I probably would have been lukewarm at best because there's like 10 other plot points I would have rathered them spend time on. With that said, what we got is not a well done redemption arc. Let's break down a really good redemption arc for comparison. Now, I know that Avatar: The Last Airbender is the gold standard for all character writing, but Zuko's redemption is so flippin' good. I argue that a successful redemption arc requires three things. A good understanding of the motivation of the character who needs to be redeemed, both in why they do bad things and why they would choose to change their ways. Secondly, they need to confront the harm they did and face consequences or work to fix that harm. And 3, the other characters' experiences and motivations need to be respected when they are confronted with this new, changed for the better, redeemed character. Zuko does all of these. Kylo does none of them. First, we get a good understanding of why Zuko is the way he is. We get multiple flashbacks where we see his upbringing, his strained relationship with his father and sister, the influence of his mother. We discover why he is in this situation where he has to hunt down the Avatar. And because we see the trauma that has put him there, we sympathize with him. We don't want him to win, but we know why he is doing what he's doing, and it isn't because he's evil. We know he was exiled for trying to do the right thing, and we know that his need to capture Aang isn't born out of malice, but because it is the way home for him. We see him struggle with his choices. We see him make bad choices. All this background is important because we fully understand his motivations, his flaws, but also his capacity for good. He helps the heroes at times and betrays them, has moments of mercy, moments of kindness, moments of weakness. We see him make the good choice at the North Pole. We see him rescue Aang. We see him help Earth villagers. We also see him betray Iroh and the gang, team up with Azula, hurt people. We see him get what he thought he wanted when he is welcome home, and his realization that it isn't making him happy. This background work is 2 full seasons plus the first 5 episodes of season 3. It's hours and hours of content. And all of it primes us as the audience to believe that Zuko can be redeemed. So when he ditches the Fire Nation towards the beginning of season 3, I think it's episode 6, we fully understand why this is happening. Here's point number 2. Zuko has to face consequences and work to undo the harm he caused, even though we sympathize with why he caused that harm and know he won't do it again. When Zuko tries to join the heroes, they do not accept him right away. He has switched sides, but he has not been redeemed to the heroes yet. That takes 6 more episodes to fully happen, 2 hours of content in which Zuko has to confront the harm he did to the other characters, how he, and the Fire Nation he allied with, hurt everyone from major characters like Katara to side characters like Suki. He has to confront these wrongs and help those people individually to make recompense. He has to help rescue Hadoka and Suki, help bring Katara closure about her mother, teach Aang firebending. There is mistrust there that has to be rebuilt in a way that respects those characters' experiences and feelings. And in the end, he earns their friendship. This is that third point. The characters, as they respond to Zuko's change of heart, do so in a way that respects their shared painful history. The show doesn't ask us to believe that these people, especially the girls he hurt, are his romantic interest. The only character who Zuko doesn't really have to work to redeem himself to is Iroh, and Zuko still gets on his knees to beg his uncle for forgiveness because he knows how deep the harm he caused was. It takes a long time. It's worked for, and the payout is consistent with all the characters and their experiences with him. This does not happen with Kylo Ren. He is literally still violently attacking Rey, hoping to turn her to the dark side and rule the galaxy up until like 80% of the way through the last movie. Point 1. Do we understand his motivations for being evil and why he might switch to the light? Well, we don't get a good look at his childhood. We don't see him doing good things along with his bad choices. We don't see really anything beyond he does terrible shit repeatedly and then looks conflicted about it. Apparently the comics give more backstory for why he turned to the dark side, but we don't see that in the films. And why would he turn to the light? What does he gain through either choice? It's really not shown to us. When Kylo does turn, very, very close to the end of the last film, we don't see him confront the harm he caused Finn or Poe or his parents or even Rey. His dad's ghost is like, hey, totes no worries, but all those people you killed, including me. Rey, who has firsthand seen him slaughter a lot of people, is like, I just want you to be good. Take my hand, Ben. This, not even forgiveness, but total disregard for his harm is just handed to him over and over and over. You get one, Uncle Iroh, okay? And Zuko didn't even kill Uncle Iroh, and he apologized. Kylo does not. Kylo throws his saber away, and the next time we see him is the final confrontation with Palpatine. He gets a wholly unearned kiss and dies. The fact that Rey apparently has no hang-ups about Kylo kidnapping her, torturing her, killing Han, trying to kill her friends multiple times, leading to Luke's death, completely destroying multiple whole planets, and working very, very hard to corrupt her to the dark side is not good writing for Rey, honestly. Why would she kiss him? Kylo doesn't have to confront any of his past actions. He gets to do one good thing and die a hero. That's not a redemption arc. It's not really an arc, is it? It's like a heel turn at the very end of the movie. If Kylo had, ditched the First Order at the beginning of The Rise of Skywalker, spent the film working to bring down Palpatine for good reasons, facing consequences for what he had done, and then made his big heroic sacrifice, then I may have bought it. I'm a sucker for that shit, as I think I demonstrated with Zuko. Now, I think a lot of the biggest problems in Rise of Skywalker come down to the total disconnect between it and Last Jedi. I don't know who to blame for that, but the fact that either Rian Johnson was given no direction for Episode 8, or totally disregarded the direction he was given, paired with the fact that J.J. Abrams absolutely refused to actually roll with what Rian did in Episode 8, and spent huge chunks of Episode 9 retconning and undoing shit, just makes the whole thing feel janky as hell. Palpatine should have been set up in Episode 8. Getting janked around about Rey's parentage shouldn't have happened. And yes, if we are going to redeem Kylo Ren, that setup needs to have happened more successfully at either the end of 8 or the very beginning of 9. But like I said at the beginning, I have no emotional investment in Kylo Ren's redemption. I just don't find him compelling. I would have been much more interested if we had spent that time with Finn. His story really focuses on how stormtroopers are kidnapped and brainwashed child soldiers who can be saved. And then the movies proceed to indiscriminately murder faceless stormtroopers for the rest of Episodes 7 and 8. And then in Episode 9 again, we are reminded that, hey, stormtroopers are kidnapped and brainwashed child soldiers who can be saved. Here's a whole community of ex-stormtroopers. Good people. Real actual people. And then spent the rest of the film indiscriminately killing stormtroopers. So maybe we could have spent some time, having Finn go around and free and recruit stormtroopers for the rebellion, because that seems kind of obvious. Or we could have spent some more time on this idea that Rey is tempted by the dark side, because we're told that, but why? What does she gain by doing that? Why would that even be a temptation? Who knows? Not me. Oh, or if you want to have a First Order spy, how about Kylo is the spy? Or give me some actual scenes of Hux being the spy, so I kinda care. Or give Rose an actual story in Episode 9. Or hey, let's just do Finn Poe. Let's just go with that. Take all of Kylo's screen time and give it to Finn and Poe being boyfriends. There. I fixed Star Wars. You're welcome. So, sorry for the long hiatus, guys. work. Do be sure to check out my Patreon for when I do ever so occasionally update, and if you liked listening to this queer millennial feminist rant for a while, do all the YouTube stuff.